What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here. I know the title is very, very bizarre, but trust me, I guess some dudes decided to try a weekend at Bernie's to collect their grandpa's pension even though he had already passed away. Yeah, that's right. Dead man propped up by two other men in an attempt to collect pension at post office. Honestly, something this absurd I just figured I would talk about, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into IRL weekend at Bernie's. Let's go. Alright, so first things first, I want to do a disclaimer. You should never take a dead body to the pensions office and try to get a pension. I just feel like, if you're the type of person that needs a disclaimer to not pose a dead body, you're probably too far gone. Everybody else on the normal side of everything else is like, yeah, why would you ever take a dead body to the pensions office? These guys just thought that they had figured out the hack to infinite free money. Sure, they might think it's weird that he's still 185 collecting his pension, but we'll be rich and they'll be none the wiser. I just don't really know why you decide, in the 5 minutes after Grandpa died, to just go get his paycheck. You seem a little bit too money-focused if that's problem number one. A dead man was brought to a post office this morning in an attempt to collect his pension in one of the most bizarre incidents that Gardai has ever seen. The shocking incident in which the deceased male was propped up by two other men happened at the post office on Stapletown Roads in Carlow Town. Staff at the post office immediately became suspicious and contacted emergency services, and Gardai rushed to the scene. Obviously, from the first second of reading the headline, you could have assumed this was not a very well thought out plot, but I feel like it's especially not well thought out if the second you walked into the office, everyone went, oh my god, there's two guys carrying a dead body here trying to get a pension. At least in Weekend at Bernie's, which for those of you that don't know is an 80s movie about people using this dead guy's body to throw parties at his house. Really weird concept for a movie. They were trying to make it look like he was alive. These dudes just really carried him in there, peeled open his eyes, were making his mouth talk with their hand. No, I'm fine. I'm here to get my pension. I'm just imagining how obvious it must have been if literally everybody there was like, oh my gosh, calling the services. When they called the 911 version that they've got over there, they were like, wait a second, you're telling me that two dudes just carried a dead guy into the post office? I don't know, man. Something's wrong with him. Either he's comatose or something, but yeah. And they're like, okay, sure, man. It's not even April 1st yet. I don't know why everyone's trying to mess with us. They get there, sure enough, there's just actually this scheme going on. I feel like, there's a lot easier ways to get money other than, digging up Grandpa and carrying him to the post office, Maybe in their grief, they were just doing things that other people wouldn't understand, dude. I just don't really know why you would just see Grandpa's dead body and first things first be like, bag collection imminent. Y'all thought it was over. Ahaha, I got Grandpa's pension. No money was handed over, and it's understood that the deceased man is well known to the two men who moved his body. A local woman living beside the post office told her how her daughter witnessed the two men carrying a man into the shop. She was leaving my house and said the man looked unwell and his feet were dragging on the ground. Well, on the bright side, I guess this lady's daughter can consider herself a health expert. She saw a dead body and went, ooh, he doesn't look too good. I mean, she wasn't wrong though, was she? He probably was not feeling too good. I also love how the article feels the need to point out that the old man was very well known to the two men who were carrying him in. I don't know if that actually makes this situation better or worse. Is it better if they dug up a stranger's grandpa and took him to the pensions office to get, some money, or is it worse because it's their grandpa? Either way, it's horrible, but on one hand, you're like, ooh, you did this to a stranger. On the other hand, it's like, that's your grandpa? I don't know, regardless, I just love that they felt the need to specify that, because it doesn't actually make any of this better. Regardless, you're still the dude who tried to take a dead body to the post office to get some money out of it. I mean, honestly, dude, I don't even know how they thought that this was going to go well for them. Seriously, they had to have just watched Weekend at Bernie's or something and thought that the entire world just was not going to question anything about this. It's bad if people start questioning you and you're not even at the post office yet. If people are just walking out of their house and being like, what is wrong with that dude? He looks horrible. Your plan's gonna fail. And if your plan at any point involves using a dead person to convince people to give you money, just quit the plan because it's weird and you shouldn't do it. The woman, who did not want to be named, said there was a queue outside of the post office at the time. It's a small shop and you're only allowed in there 3 at a time with social distancing, and people were in shock as they thought he was having a heart attack, she said. I love that they went to a place with a line too, dude. Like, each update just gets dumber and dumber. The entire plan, absolutely stupid. The fact that they went, saw a line outside and said, well, whatever, we'll just wait in line with this dead guy and nobody's gonna catch on. Like, dude, do you think literally nobody pays any attention ever? These dudes have to have played enough GTA where they think that people in public are as stupid as Grand Theft Auto NPCs if they actually thought this was ever going to work. And even then, dude, like, it's just so bizarre to me because, like, I don't know, maybe I'm weird for this. The idea of dead bodies freaks me out. I do not want to be near one. I especially don't want to be carrying one and, like, holding it up in line. No, thank you. I didn't realize that was a weird thing to feel. Oh yeah, grandma died sick, dude. If we prop her up in the front window for at least 6 more months, we can keep getting her social security checks. It's like, or, okay, you could just, like, not do that to grandma. And, you know, you could not just be carrying around dead bodies places and posing it in areas. I feel awful for the staff. They suffered so many robberies over the years, they're worn out. I've got a 12-year-old daughter. I'm trying to explain to her what happened, and I'm not sure where you even start. It's awful. Dude, imagine being the workers here. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about the people in line, the people that had to witness all of this. But, like, imagine being the person that had to look at them and go, no, I'm not going to give you the check for the pension. The guy's obviously dead. Like, that's got to mess you up, bro. I'm sorry. You never expect to be seeing stuff like that when you get the job at the post office, you know? If you're a paramedic, you just kind of got to accept the fact that you're going to see some, like, messed up body parts or whatever. Comes with the territory. You don't really expect to have to be interacting with dead bodies when you picked your career as a mailman, you know? You were like, awesome, I'm gonna deliver the mail, rain, sleet, or snow, it doesn't matter where we go, baby. But now you're out here having to tell this dude that no, you can't crash in or cash in grandpa's pension after he's kicked the bucket. And I especially don't understand robbing the post office, all right? You know, I didn't even realize that the post office was a place that had money in it. They're like, they've dealt with so many robberies. You're telling me that someone robbed the post office and then was like, hey man, I got $200 in stamps, and then went and did it again? My goodness, I didn't realize that stamp collecting was coming back in so much popularity that people were literally breaking into post offices. If you rob a post office, that might be the most lame thing you could rob. You know, I disagree with robbing things in general, but, like, you know, there's a certain art to stealing from a casino or something. Stealing from a post office is like the finger painting of robberies. Mayor of Carlo Fianna Fáil, Councillor Ken Murnane, expressed shock at the news. I heard there was a commotion in the post office, he said this evening. I go by there all the time and it's not busy. Normally there's a queue out the door. I was absolutely shocked to hear about what happened. I can't believe anyone would think something like that. It beggars belief. I'm shocked. Well, dude, yeah, what did they expect the mayor to say? You know, like, there's sometimes you see a headline and you're like, obviously this is not good. People shouldn't do this, you know? And then they're like, what do you think, mayor? Well, what do you think they think, dude? Do you think that they're suddenly super in favor of people taking dead bodies to the post office, you know? It's insane that we live in a time that you have to clarify that you're like, oh, yeah, don't do this. It's bad to take dead people to the office. We should just all be in agreement that this is bad, you know? Mayor, what are your thoughts on the maniac running around biting off people's noses? I don't like that, personally. I don't like to bite off people's noses. Wow, thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's like, you know, man, I just feel like there's certain things we can all agree is shocking, and a dead body being taken into the post office to try to get the pension is definitely up there as something we agree is shocking. Honestly, though, my question is, are they gonna get in any trouble for this? Like, are they just like, oh, you guys, you hooligans trying to cause a ruckus at the post office, you goofballs, go put him back in his grave, you silly billies? Or, like, is there a crime for this? I'm assuming this has gotta be illegal somehow. I mean, I'm not an expert on law, but I feel like taking a dead body somewhere and trying to use it to, like, get their money has to be illegal. You know, it's gotta be some type of fraud, right? Because, you know, if somebody takes me to the ATM after I'm dead and, like, it uses my fingerprint, because I'm assuming by then future technology is going to be all there to withdraw all of my money, I'm not cool with that, bro, okay? Yeah, it's my body, but, like, hey, I'm not down. I just feel like at a certain point you gotta be like, hey, it's probably not worth the bag. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. And of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. I post a video like this just talking about something weird or random every day. So yeah, subscribe if you're new. Other than that, link to the intro song down below. There's also a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. It's a way to get a discount on G Fuel, and it helps me out. I'd appreciate it. The other two things in the description, first is a link to my Spotify show. If you want to listen offline or, just listen on Spotify, a link to that will be at the top of the description. And the last link's going to be a link to my merch store. If you want to go ahead and get yourself the coolest t-shirt to ever exist, a link to that's going to be down there, so be sure to go do it. And yeah, on that note, that'll do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.